Yeah, that's
Yes, I found a weakness. Anyway,
fine. Well, until I fucking
a weakness
Until
to
I die.
exploit. All right, whenever you're ready, Brendan, just let me know.
We're gonna do a cold open this week.
Huh? No.
No cold open.
I mean, cold opens are natural, not forced.
This is true.
Anyway, natural, not forced. Anyway,
Ew.
let's get away from that.
Mary Sue.
Hey, everybody, we are back with another episode of the Punch Out Podcast.
Concussion
I
edition.
am your host, Adam Sussler, and with me is the lovely, beautiful, and talented Morgan Webb.
No, it's not. It is me, Brendan.
It is Brendan.
I'm back.
And we are in for another week of January, and we survived the blizzard.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. I stayed home and did nothing. I caught up on that movie challenge, only to fall behind again. I'm behind like 4 movies again.
You got Heather on that.
Yeah, I know.
She was telling me she has to catch up. Like, yeah. So I spent the blizzard at work, and then when I left work, I slipped and fell, and I had my old lady moment.
I'm
Where,
falling
like-
and I can't get up. My knee. I broke my knees.
I
I
was
broke my
down.
back, spinal.
I immediately like got off the knee I fell on,
Mhm.
and I'm kneeling down,
Yeah.
and I'm looking around at all these people shoveling, and I'm like, why is no one helping me?
I need someone to help me.
So that, then, whatever. But anyway,
And speaking of injuries, let's talk about how the night before the blizzard, I was cleaning a bathtub. I was holding
how
on
do
to
you
this.
keep injuring yourself?
I don't know. I'm 2016 is the year of Brendan. I actually have another funny story
God,
too. Hold on.
Life does not like you.
I'm cleaning the tub, whatnot, and I lose my balance and I go crashing into the wall, and I go crashing head first. Grade 2 concussion, just for cleaning a tub. But that's not the worst injury of this week. So the other night,
crazy.
I'm listening to my boys play. We're all playing Halo, right? And they're making this joke about this person that's part of this group we're on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a nickname for this person. They call this person Ham Beast. So, oh no.
Gwen has just taken your shit.
Yeah, I hope she doesn't pee on it. But
She doesn't pee on things.
so it was so funny because I was drinking water as they were telling the story, and I lost it. I started laughing, and I was like, all right, I have 2 options. I can either drink this and survive while I'm laughing, or just spit it out. So I go to spit out the water,
Why?
and as I go to spit out the water, all the water half of the water just goes into my windpipe, and I fuck it right into my lungs. And dude, I almost drowned by drinking water. I would have been a rare statistic. Essentially, I would have hit the lottery of death.
Wow, Brendan.
Dude,
That's
I couldn't
bad.
breathe. I fucking go crashing through things in my house, and I'm like, ugh. I scared the shit out of everybody in my house. I woke everybody up. I was like, yeah.
What? There was a show like that. It was a show someone had the ability to create water and have it like just be around someone's head.
Was it Heroes?
I think so. And like they were like, "Oh, how did he drown?" And he was so far away from the ocean.
I'm thinking superhero show. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. maybe?
No. I don't remember what show it could be a cartoon as well.
Smallville?
Mm-mm.
I'm thinking Hydra Man from Spider-Man.
Actually, I don't think it's any of those. It might be, but it's from a D&D game now that I think about it. Never mind. Move on.
Wow.
Move on.
Okay. So this week we're going to start off with something special. Stefan has a soapbox and he wants to
it's
rant
not a
off of it.
It's not a soapbox. It's just
So-
obvious.
It's not going to be a lot of video game news, but this one particularly teed off Mr. Dawkins over here.
Okay, so nobody
away.
knows this, so I'll introduce this to the world. But I'm a huge Mega Man fan. I grew up on Mega Man, and the Blue Bomber is one of my favorites. So Ifune, Mega Man's creator in Capcom, he has a part of my childhood, and he can strangle it and choke it and do terrible things to it at night. And it seems like he has. Because he left Capcom, and everyone knows that when he left Capcom, he started his new little company and was creating a new game. He started the Kickstarter for Mighty Number 9. And
Mighty number 9.
welcome to the world of Mighty number 9. It is exactly the same as a Mega Man. Anyway,
same character models.
and it all started out like a great idea. It was like, okay, cool. Fune is no longer being kind of dicked around by Capcom, and he kind of has the freedom now to create the game he's always wanted to create, which is great. That's cool. Now we get this game as fans. And I funded it because I wanted it. And I was like, this is going to be great. I want to see this happen. Dude, this was like, how long ago was this? Like 2 years ago?
Almost 2 years ago now at this point.
And
you figured it'd take a year at best. Like a year to develop a game. And it doesn't even look like a full game. Like,
no,
it's just
it doesn't feel like one. It feels like, I know he wanted to make like a true successor to like Mega Man, but it honestly feels like a cheap Mega Man. As weird as it sounds, but
essentially,
let's talk about the fact that not only did recently, when I say recently, I mean I woke up to it and found out about it via email from the Kickstarter thing, saying that, oh, sorry guys, we're really apologetic about this, and we really want to work on the netcode to make co-op a possibility, so we have to delay it till sometime later this year. So it's going to come out sometime in the summer. Who knows? Maybe it'll get delayed again. But let's also talk about what happened in between, where Ifune started another Kickstarter for the Mega Man Legends successor.
Mighty number 9 Legends.
So pretty much he wants funding for another game,
but he hasn't delivered. I think that's the biggest problem with a lot of these crowdfunded. Well, I'm not gonna say a lot of these crowdfunded projects, because in entertainment and kind of like art or things that actually need to be built, you kind of have like promises. Mm-hmm. And even with some of these movie ones, which sometimes I don't agree with, like the Veronica Mars one, I understand what they did there because nobody was gonna fund a Veronica Mars movie. I can't speak.
Speak today.
But in this case, it's happened with Mighty number 9. It's happened with Starship Citizen. Mm-hmm. It's happened with even the Tim Schafer games. And look at the backlash like Shenmue got, which was pretty fucking rough.
Yeah.
Which is hard. Like, oh, thank you for your $3 million. By the way, Sony's putting up the other $6 million. And it's just like, what was the fucking point, dude? So I guess a fucking leather jacket. But go on with your... Oh, well, did Inafune work on 9 and 10? When Capcom put him out on the...
he did and he didn't. I think he had a directorial influence, but that was about it.
Because I figured that's why he named it 9. Mighty number 9, because it would be his 9th Mega Man game or
technically,
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... which is pretty sad. It's
That's
a pretty
depressing.
sad state of affairs. But you know what's crazy? In the meantime, while Inafune kind of is stalling here at the gate. Didn't Capcom put out like a Mega Man collection recently?
Mm-hmm.
It's like 1
Capcom
through 10.
came out with the Mega Man collection, which, fuck it, man. Anything Mega Man at this point is welcomed because there's not much.
'Cause Capcom doesn't like that.
It's weird because Capcom has, since they own Mega Man, they have all the power in the world to make as much money as they want when you think about it. I mean, Mega Man Legends for the, what was it, 3DS or Vita, whatever, that got canceled. Mm-hmm. Then, what was the other one called? It was Mega Man Universe or Worlds or something?
Legacy?
Was it Legacy?
It might have been.
Where, like, it's, you create your own. It was supposed to be Mario Maker, but for the Mega Man series.
That's pretty dope.
And you could play as not only Mega Man, but you could play as other Capcom characters like Ryu and shit like that, which was gonna be freaking awesome. You could play as the enemies as well.
Yeah.
So you could play as like Cutman and Gutsman.
That's pretty dope.
And they canceled that for some reason. I mean, shit. I have pictures from when they were at Comic-Con trying to show that shit off, and for them to just kind of like cancel it was like, what? I don't know. Mega Man is just, it's cursed at this point.
Fuck.
It's cursed.
It's cursed.
Oh well. But yeah, that's really the only complaint is she's fucking up your shit.
Yo, Gwen, get off.
We're yelling at a cat right now.
Yep. During during the live break, I'm gonna just go. Duh! So anyway, I'm gonna just say this last bit of video game. Let's do a game. What were the top selling games of last year? What do you think, in your opinion?
Top selling games.
Top 10 of last year. I pulled up the list. That's why I'm on the phone.
Well, after top 5, nobody gives a shit. So
it's pretty interesting what's in the top 10.
I'm gonna say number
and
one.
What's not in the top 10?
Number one might be Witcher, Fallout, or Mario Maker.
None of the three.
Really? Which
number one? Number one game, the best-selling game of 2015.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, you're right. It's Call of Duty Black Ops. Followed by Madden.
Oh, that's no surprise either.
Fallout 4 comes in at number 3.
All right.
Star Wars Battlefront comes in at number 4.
Wow. Okay.
This one actually really shocked me.
Actually, that makes sense. Continue.
You know what number 5 is? It's not a game that was released this year. Wait, on the PC it was though. Grand Theft Auto 5. In the top selling games of last year, it's still selling.
Jeez, that's
this is
weird.
why Rockstar is fucking king at what they do.
That's weird.
Take-Two again is on this with NBA 2K16 at number 6.
NBA 2K.
This one doesn't shock me at all. Minecraft comes in at number 7.
Wait, come on.
People still buying Minecraft, man.
Why?
Because it's on every fucking platform available.
Oh, man. And you know what's weird, too? Minecraft is also a top-viewed YouTube video.
It's essentially what got PewDiePie on the map, no?
Isn't
that what got PewDiePie on the map?
No, actually just horror games mostly. But there are a lot of YouTube celebrities.
I've seen some good, original content being made with Minecraft, though. In terms of, dramas and stuff. Which is insane.
But, Brendan, how... you know what? I'm not going to get into that debate. That's a debate for another day.
Well, just look at Machinima. I'll just say, look at how popular Machinima was with our generation.
But that's different than Minecraft. Because Minecraft is really just, you know what Minecraft is? Minecraft is like 9gag. It's just a bunch of reposts in a different format.
Well, no. When I say that is, and I can't believe I'm defending Minecraft because I can't stand the game.
You love that game.
I saw a court drama being played out. Like, a buddy of mine showed me a court drama being played out on Minecraft, and I was like,
oh, okay. So what's the next on that list?
Yeah. So FIFA 2016. Number 9 is Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat, and then the last game is
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat 10 was
made
on
the
the
list. That's good, man. That's really good for a fighting game to be up there.
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which was last year's Call of Duty, was number 10.
Call of Duty.
What's shocking that's not up here? The Witcher. The Witcher's not up here.
No, that's actually not shocking.
Or no Assassin's Creed, no Need for Speed.
That's not shocking.
No
of course,
Rocket League.
Of course, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's digital sales. MPD is
bless you, girlfriend.
Physical game sales. Excuse me, fellers and ladies. Hello, ladies.
I guess Bloodborne wasn't on there because it's too hard and needs an easy mode.
Nope.
Fucking.
Do you want to get on that soapbox before we go into our first?
No, we're actually we just hit time. So, when we come back, we'll have the news to abuse.
I'm only here to capture the traitor I told you about.
This traitor, who is he?
It isn't a he, it's a she. It is the baby I took from Randor, Princess Adora.
What?
Hey.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. We are back, and we're here for some news.
And remember, guys, speak from the chest. From your chest.
Some news to abuse. So remember a couple weeks ago, I think like 2 weeks ago, we were talking...
So approximately about 2 weeks ago, we were having a deep conversation.
No, so one of the news stories that I talked about was this fan-made X-Men series that was going to come out on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, it came out.
Well, one episode did, and then it got... then the man was told to take it down.
Promptly taken down, as with most creative endeavors.
Yep, X-Men Danger Room Protocols, a fan-made animated tribute to the 90s cartoon and comics, has ended after just one episode.
Thanks, due to legal reasons.
Purportedly due to legal pressure from Marvel.
You know exactly what happened, right?
Yeah, they told him to go fuck himself.
He was working on episode 2, and then something like broke his roof and came in and was like, "Sentinels execute."
Oh my god, that'd be awesome. Oh, can you interlude the one with Jubilee where she's all like, ah! You know, the Night of the Sentinel? I love that fucking episode. Morph dies in that second episode.
This one's for you, Morph. Fucking, that cartoon's so dramatic.
You know what I never got? Why Wolverine got a cold when he fell into the Arctic
That's
River?
True.
That's
true. He's like survived in the harshest
and he's like,
winters of
I
Canada.
fucking hate winter. Anyway,
like,
so
bro, you're in Alpha Flight. Shut the fuck up.
Joe Furtado, who was the gentleman that was making this YouTube series, said, when I set out to make this project, I never really thought this was going to be an issue.
Can you say it with like a more like a different voice so we
He's
know
Canadian.
it's not you? When I started, I wanted to create a different kind of
Anyway,
thing.
I don't think
fans,
that I don't think that Marvel was going to react this way, and the outcome for me is a little bit shocking. I doubt that that was Marvel
shocking,
I don't think that was Marvel that did that to him.
It was probably Disney, but Marvel is no stranger to copyright infringement. They will fight that shit hardcore.
Yeah,
but it
true.
was probably a Disney influence, a very, very, very big Disney influence. And you know what though, I don't agree with what I don't agree with that because it's just a fan project. Fuck you. But I think Disney wants to avoid that Disney Fox dispute that would come out of it.
That's exactly the issue. I don't think that it was Disney itself. I think it was just Fox. But I don't think Fox owns the cartoons. I think that reverted back to Buena Vista Entertainment because I think they put out those cartoons. Anyway, FX's Merry Band of Spies is coming back. Archer's coming back on March 31st.
Cool. Brendan
likes that.
Show.
It's a fucking amazing show. It's coming back for 13 episodes starting March 31st. I think I said that.
You know, that's Archer's success is actually really interesting. It's what started on FX, which at the time FX wasn't really like that popular.
Nope.
And it had a really awkward time slot when it first came out too.
It's essentially the Frisky Dingo cast kind of.
Yeah.
And C-Lab, and it was just sort of the guy that made C-Lab and Frisky Dingo, and it was sort of like people were like, oh, this. I'm surprised that show never took off on Adult Swim. That is like an Adult Swim show to a T.
Honestly, I don't think Archer would have succeeded on Adult Swim. I think it would have succeeded within the Adult Swim, like, you know, the viewers.
They probably would have said that, oh, this is Venture Brothers is better.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I don't think it would have succeeded in terms of its success. Because there are people who watch Archer that I never knew would be into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's good. You know what I do like about the FX is that they give shows FX. A chance. They like give it like a 2-3 season window.
Yeah.
And if they fail, they fail. If not, because I look at all the FX shows and they get like 1 or 2 seasons. But look at something like Sunny, which essentially started out like they filmed it for $500. And 10 years later, it's still fucking going.
It's amazing that show is still going on. Nobody ever talks about it either.
I love that show. It's just my favorite.
I know everybody loves it.
One of my favorite shows.
It's just nobody ever fucking talks about Sunny.
They just did an episode last week where they it was sort of like based on like all those 80 like we need to do the ski lifting, you know, like that's
it's the ski episode.
It's pretty great, but it was all a ploy for Frank to just frack the mountain. So he like made this whole elaborate thing. It's so fucking great. Yeah. So I got some sad news for you, Stefan. You were excited to see Star Wars Episode 8.
Oh, it just got pushed back, but you know, honestly, it got pushed back to a more favorable time
to make more money in December again. Disney and Lucasfilms have just announced that Star Wars Episode 8, Attack of the Brendan, originally set for May 2017, is moving back 7 months and is now coming out December 15, which is my aunt's birthday. And, you know, we've gone through that long story.
Yeah. I'm not in the mood to cry right now.
Yep. And it's coming out on 2017. And everybody's going like,
we could talk about the opposite of that.
Yes, and what's taking its place, that's what I have it lined up here. The next Spider-Man movie will be here sooner than you thought.
Spider-Man.
Sony has moved up the release date from July 28th, 2017 to about a month earlier.
The trend in Marvel movies is that somebody dies, but not really. So think about it. Mm-hmm. Winter Soldier, Bucky dies, but not really. What's his name? Agent
Coulson.
Coulson dies, but not really. Nick Fury dies, but not really. So the question is,
Mm-hmm.
will Ben die, but not really?
No, Ben's dead already.
Oh,
I don't think
man.
they're gonna do this.
Yeah,
fucking
they're not
origin
gonna do the
story for
origin, but-
8,000 time.
What? But you know what?
Because I think at this point he's already Spider-Man when they introduce him in Civil War.
But did you hear the rumor?
No, I don't want to. What's the rumor?
The big rumor is that that's actually not really Spider-Man. It might be Miguel.
The next Spider-Man movie will be here sooner than you thought. I said that. The film, as previously announced, will be co-produced from Sony Pictures.
You'll never win, Spider-Man.
Amy Pascal, who sent out all those racist emails, and Kevin Feige of Marvel Studios. Last week we talked about a teaser trailer with a bunch of villains on it. It turns out they're re-releasing Thunderbolts again, but with a more original lineup.
Yeah, it's just weird because it's an older lineup that I think comic book fans would enjoy, would really enjoy. But I think newer readers are going to be a little left out. I don't think they know who the hell these people are.
Yeah, the team of Jim Zub, who's writing it, and artist John Mallon. I have no idea who those are. The series will feature classic Thunderbolt members Moonstone, the Fixer, Atlas, and Mach 5, and the guidance of the new leader, Winter Soldier. The series will still focus on the core Thunderbolts concept of villains striving to be good.
Man.
I just noticed that this quote that I got, there's a huge typo in there.
See, the quote was from an actual comment section, and the quote was just kind of funny.
Essentially, yeah.
He put a picture of Homer Simpson as his reaction. It was actually hilarious.
Very much so. Captain America is coming back. Well, Steve Rogers, at least.
Steve Rogers.
Last week during the Captain America 75th anniversary special, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
We found out a lot of things about New York
we
Nazis.
learned, oh my God, that's so weird. Anyway.
And it's crazy to think that now, like, people are like, oh, there's so much racism in this country, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, at least we
there
don't
were real-ass Nazis walking around the streets of New York. People were like, those crazy Nazis.
They got to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
He's got a new costume too, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, the costume looks different. It's updated. It's modern. Though I do like what they're doing though.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhat, where they're gonna leave Sam Wilson to the Avengers and to the world saving kind of plot lines, but they're gonna have Steve Rogers more in the behind the scenes fighting Hydra because Hydra is back. You cut off one head, and I guess more grow in its place for some reason. I guess no one's ever thought of using fire. Classic RPG.
Yeah, I like Steve. I'm not gonna.
I'm glad.
I'm glad
I like
Sam
Steve
Wilson's
Rogers back.
Captain America, but I really like Captain America Steve Rogers.
How awesome would it be if they got Luke Cage to be Captain America?
Anyway, and so 5 years ago, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. 5 years ago, DC started this new initiative, a new 52 brand new stories, 52 brand new heroes, everything that you love.
52 brand new stories and 48 canceled. Oh.
Just about. We never went through that list of how many of the original
It
titles
doesn't
are still
matter
there.
at this point. Does it freaking matter how many nice storylines?
Not at all, because it seems like it's time to do the same thing again in June.
Why do they do this?
Bleeding Cool broke the story on a spat of name changes, relaunches, and certain books going bi-weekly at DC Comics this summer. But it seems this is only a part of it. I understand that it's... Well, I don't understand, but it's being reported that a top-down change has filtered through the publisher, which will... Sorry. No, keep going, no worries. Ew, that's nasty. Which will see another relaunch from DC Comics with everything getting a new #1 in June.
Oh,
those that survive, that is. And the new lineup even more dominated with Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Harley Quinn / Suicide Squad related titles.
I guess they realized that a flower villain was not really that cool.
Well, that Poison Ivy thing is only 5 issues.
No, I'm not talking about that.
Oh.
I'm talking about in the new Batman series.
Oh.
There's that villain who likes flowers and does stuff with flowers and.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
No, it's stupid. That's what I'm getting at.
Anything tying in... I actually have a story about that. Anything tying in with a film and or TV show like Green Arrow, Flash will be okay. Anything that's not is less so. I haven't heard any. There's no reports of any Green Lantern stuff. But will another DC launch help the company? As it fucking seems like Marvel does it every 2 weeks. Well, we will wait and see, Stefan. We will wait and see. How do you feel about that?
About what?
About
DC restart rebooting
yet again. I mean, I can't be mad at them. They're gonna take the Marvel approach, which is like every time we have a movie come out, let's fucking reboot the universe. For a change of a status quo, because that's their favorite buzzwords. Marvel and DC's favorite buzzwords are status quo change.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna get into that debate.
No problem.
Because the debate is really about like every time there's some new development in the world, do we have to change all the comics to fit that new development? And it's it's never a natural progression. It's always just like let's just redo everything. Same Captain America's black. Like it's always this. It's never subtle.
It's like this niche thing.
Yeah, it's always this like we gotta appeal to everybody kind of move, and in a lot of ways it's good for them, I suppose, because maybe it gets them new readers, or maybe it helps them with like their recruiting with the people they recruit as their writers. But sometimes first of all, it dilutes the pool. It dilutes the storylines that you have. It kills it for the readers that have been there for a while, because now suddenly it's like, well, I just read the story kind of for nothing.
That's the weird numbering that's going on with like Hawkeye and Howard the Duck, where it was like you guys put out 4 or 5 issues respectively of those 2 books and then rebooted it again, and then it's just like this. You guys, what? I think they should just get away with numbering from comics and then just do like, hey, this is this is the issue, this is the title, this is the story arc, because at this point you're like every volume has like 4 or 5 issues and then you reboot it. So it's just like you need
they should just release them in volumes, and if that's the case, like here's the thing, I long for the days of like Amazing Spider-Man, where like you pick up a comic and it's like issue 349 or issue 572. Like I want to see a series really go on and on and on, but it seems like these publishers now are realize, or maybe they're, I don't know, I don't want to say realizing, because there's really nothing to realize here, but maybe they believe that the comics are not going to keep them afloat, and things like the cartoon series and the TV series and the movies are where it's at now for them.
Well, readership has grown. It's growing every year.
Of course it's growing every year, because there's there are people that have never ever in their life. Okay, you know what? I'll give you this example. The other day at work, I was sitting down in the phone room. 2 people came into the back and they started talking, and they were like, "Oh, did you see the new Suicide Squad trailer?" "Oh, no, I didn't."
We're getting to that.
And they watched it, right? And then after they watched it, he's like, "So what is the Suicide Squad?" "Oh, I don't know. I think it's a bunch of bad guys that like the government hired to do this stuff."
Shit, Sherlock.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had to be that nerd. I felt like that nerd. I actually stood up and was like, "Well, actually, they're not hired. They're being forced into it." There are a lot of people getting into comics now.
Yep.
And there are a lot of people who see
and
themselves as intellectually sound enough to go out and be like, I'm going to go to a comic book shop and buy 3 volumes of Captain America or the Avengers or Spider-Man, and I'm going to know everything there is to know. And then when they get there, they realize, no, actually, these characters are from the fucking 70s and 60s and 50s. They're old characters. There's a lot of shit with them.
That's why I don't think like a reboot is needed for something like Batman or Wonder Woman or Superman, because people know these characters already.
Exactly.
When Marvel, at least to Marvel's credit, when they reboot the line, they'll give you the characters you know, but then they'll also take a chance on characters you don't, which I like.
I kind of feel like in Marvel, like Marvel and DC have their own issues. Marvel is.
If you want to save that.
Yeah, let's save it. We'll talk about that.
That's all for the Marvel segment that I have.
Well, like, I feel like DC and Marvel are doing the exact same thing for different reasons, and we'll get into that another time.
And speaking of reboots, when Batman does come back, Scott Snyder's not going to be the writer anymore. He's ending his 5-year run on Batman and is going back to Detective Comics, as if when you as you know, before they started the New 52, he kind of came onto Detective Comics with Jacques. And they did a really cool storyline where James Gordon's son was all fucked in the head, which I like.
Maybe DC should just go the way of Vertigo.
And going in that same bleeding cool story, Batman will be a bi-monthly schedule starting this summer. Detective Comics will start to a monthly schedule, and that's why I guess Snyder went back to it. That's fine. Yeah, and that's about it.
Cool.
And I guess one more piece of news.
That's all the news you had?
Yeah.
I thought you had like a shit ton, like a fucking...
I went through it. That's why I didn't stress it out. And then
I thought you had like a stone tablet of news.
No, that'd be way too much. This is news that you're not going to care about. Stephen Moffat is leaving Doctor Who, which you probably know nothing of, so it's okay.
I tried to watch a few episodes of Doctor Who, and I just it went all over my head.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get it. I didn't understand it.
They're giving him one more season in the UK to kind of finish telling his story, but Moffat has been around for a bit, so since the series rebooted. So that's what's pretty big news about it. The new guy that's taking over is the guy who's the executive producer on Broadchurch, which is a really good show. People should watch that. Chris Chenible. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. The other stuff is all bullet points.
Oh, well, you know, Suicide Squad trailer came out. So wait. I just want to before we talk about that.
I have that saved for the next segment and then the Marvel segment to close it out.
I was gonna say before we talk about that, let's cut here. We'll be back, guys, and we'll talk more about DC Marvel news. Yes, this is a very comic heavy podcast.
For once, there was really no video game news this week. I feel.
Well, you know what comes out this week, right?
Fire Emblem?
Speaking of comics, Lego Marvel Avengers.
Yeah, I forgot about
Woo!
that.
All right, guys, we'll be back.
Coming soon to a Let's Play near you.
Coming soon to a toilet bowl near you.
Coming from the farthest reaches of the universe to challenge the worst villains on Earth are the most powerful heroes ever in the battle of the Superpowers Collection.
Impossible. The Hall of Justice under attack. Batman behind bars.
New from Kenner's Superpowers Collection. Hall of Justice playset. Some assembly required. Vehicles and figures sold separately.
Use the trapdoor, Batman!
Brainiac's taken over the computer. Joker in the elevator. Evil forces joining for a final assault. Who can restore order?
Superman!
Can Superman save the Hall of Justice? You decide.
And we're back. Welcome back, guys. We're going to talk about... You know what? Fuck it. So last week, DC's...
What was that?
That was me just in my brain. My brain just went, nope. So we talked about...
By the way, guys, I just want you to know that...
Nope.
He said fuck it like he was going to throw the phone away and just like go off script. But he ended up just saying exactly what was there.
Yep. So last week, on top of the on the heels of the Captain America 75th anniversary special, DC held a rival DC Cinematic Universe Dawn of the Justice League.
Literally the
episode.
same exact night.
Same exact
an
night.
hour later.
You know, I felt a little bit perturbed because it was only half an hour as opposed to an hour, and I felt that you could have flushed things more out instead of like, here's this, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I think what it really came down to was I think fans didn't want to see just how far gone, what's his name, has sold out.
Kevin Smith. No.
Kevin Smith, bro.
He's
It's a
the
joke,
unofficial. He's the unofficial King Wars. Look, I'm gonna just
You're gonna
get this
defend
Kevin
Kevin
Smith.
Smith?
Yeah, I'm gonna get this Kevin Smith point out, and I'm gonna get it out quickly. He has a niche comedy, kind of like the same dick jokes and all the things that he's done, but he's local. He's a Jersey boy. Like, I get it. And you know what? For the longest, he's kind of like been like this cheerleader for comic book movies and kind of like nerd culture before like Big Bang Theory and before all this. And he kind of had like, he was kind of like the first exposure to hear these intelligent conversations about comics. Granted, like the one about the Mr. Fantastic Dick, can it stretch? But at a point when like Star Wars wasn't very popular and comics weren't very popular, he was very prevalent in it. And plus he wrote a really insane Daredevil storyline. Anyway.
And he
gave Karen Page
practically practically was on his knees during that little DC thing. Like, yeah, just shove it right in my butt. I'll take anything you give me. I'm fucking with you.
Did you see
really
the picture though
him.
on Instagram? It was a video. DC let him have the Harley Quinn bat from Suicide Squad.
Really?
And he gave it to his daughter.
Of course, because she's Harley.
And he's like crying belligerently. It's pretty
that's
funny.
Cute.
Yeah, and that's
awesome.
that's why I like Kevin. That's what I like about.
No,
Kevin.
I mean I like him. I'm just fucking with you.
And the times that I've met him, he's been pretty cool to me. Anyway, with that, so they showed off a couple things. They showed off the Batman versus Superman, which I'm not sold on. Still, I can't believe it. We're almost a month out, and I'm just like, nah.
It's strange, man. It's really strange how that movie just turned, because Batman vs. Superman was like the one everyone wanted to see, and now it's honestly literally just become a tie-in movie. It's a movie to bring everyone into this new expanded cinematic DC universe that they're gonna throw out there. I don't know.
They're trying to rush it. Like the even, and what's crazy is that here's with the Marvel Avengers stuff, and I know we have a Marvel bias. There's no lie about it. We have a strict Marvel bias.
Well, actually, I gotta fight that. I actually really like DC.
Okay,
I'm a huge.
I'm
fan
a little
of DC.
bit DC. I'm a little bit.
But I mean, I love Marvel to death. But I'm a huge like Silver Age.
Yeah, so am I.
fan,
like, you don't even have to talk to me about that. That's on the podcast all on its own. No, but here's the thing, and this is why I feel so bad for DC is that they're trying chill out a little now. They're trying to play catch up.
They are, and they have to, because
they don't.
Of all the people that have been of all the people that have been making comic book based movies. Yes, Marvel has made some pretty shitty ones, Ghost Rider, Daredevil, but
that wasn't them, though.
Exactly.
Those
wasn't
outside
them.
studios.
But DC has been making a lot of movies, and to be honest, their only real failure was Green Lantern. Green Lantern, and Catwoman,
Man of Steel, and Jonah Hex.
Man of Steel was
Green Lantern.
Okay, I liked Man of Steel, but
Jonah Hex, Constantine,
Superman Returns.
Superman 4.
Those are bad. Those were bad. Those were really bad. And Marvel finally got their formula correct, where what was going to be successul for them.
By their own fucking movies.
But DC never got that, I don't think. I think DC was just very much like, well, movies, DC movies are out, cool, whatever. But now they're like, hey, there's actual like real potential in making an actual comic book movie based off of our characters. So how do we capitalize on that? And how do you capitalize on that? Batman versus Superman. Bam, done.
But here's where I'm like, ugh, because I feel that I know about how 85% of that movie is gonna play out, and then what didn't help it was like the confirmation of, which was gonna lead into my next point on this DC special, where it was like the introduction of. They were like, oh, at the end of this movie, you're going to see the fucking Justice League. You're going to see fucking Green Lantern and Cyborg and Aquaman.
No, you gotta say it how they did it.
No, I'm not.
It was like, well, first you have Wonder Woman, and then you have Aquaman, and then you got Cyborg, and then you have The Flash. And what's this? Something new and exclusive today? The Green Lantern Corps.
So, they showed off the first concept art of the cinematic art of the Justice League. They showed off footage of Wonder Woman, was essentially her riding on horseback, and Captain Kirk showing up, or
as one, I forgot where, I think it was Kotaku, actually. They made their headline, Wonder Woman debuts in a man's world. It's like, oh.
Anyway, fucking Kotaku. And it actually got a release date. So Wonder Woman is set to hit June 23rd, 2017. Wow, 2017, we're going to have Wonder Woman, Justice League Part 1, Spider-Man, Infinity War? Oh, yeah, Infinity War is 2018. And Star Wars. Guardians Volume 2, Black Panther.
Black Panther?
2017, yeah. Sweet.
Oh
Jesus.
my God, 2016 to 2017 are just movies.
Shut up and take my goddamn money.
I'm excited. But
we're just gonna die pretty soon.
It's interesting because they talked about the Justice League. They talked about Wonder Woman. What's interesting to me is the Justice League. The casting couldn't be any better.
Yeah, I wrote down here my positives for that. The Green Lantern Corps, which I can't wait. Cyborg, who I liked the casting for, was Ray Fisher.
I also want to say the approach is beautiful. Rather than just sticking to kind of like a storyline, which is what Marvel really is kind of hindering on, where they're really pushing the ultimate storyline a lot. And then moving on to like the subplots, but
I feel like they moved away from that. Like
no,
the
they
first
definitely
Avengers
did.
was like Ultimates, but that was and it's sort of like they kind of have this small scope into this larger thing which we didn't know about. Where it was like Iron Man, we're like, that's pretty dope. We're gonna get Iron Man and a Hulk movie this year. That's pretty dope. But what we didn't know until we fucking saw the movie is, no, they're connected. Wait, what? Nick Fury? Wait, what? I'll never forget. Somebody called me. I had this spoil. This is one of the few spoilers in my life that I was not mad about. My friend calls me I'm going to see Iron Man at midnight in Union Square, and I get a call at around 7:30. Brendan, stay in the fucking theater. Stay in the theater. Don't leave until after the credits are done. Why? What's going on? Just trust me. Stay there. And I was like, all right, cool. I was like, just tell me, because you like, this seems like there's something crazy. He's like, you're not going to believe this, but Samuel L. Jackson comes out as Nick Fury. Wait, what? What?
Yeah, Brendan, like,
I thought he was fucking with me.
You just explaining it, like, I'm already getting chills because I remember that day. Dude, I remember being in the theater and was like, oh, I heard there's a post-credits thing. And I'm sitting there and then Nick Fury comes out. Oh
John,
my God.
we speak to you about the Avengers Initiative.
It's like, it's happening.
What?
It's really happening.
Wait, what? No. What? No. And I was just like...
You were saying no? I was like, my God, the Avengers.
I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. Anyway,
diamonds, right?
We're swaying again.
Okay, sorry. Marvel bias.
Yeah,
but what I was saying was, Marvel has kind of stuck with specific things where they were like, okay, we're gonna do Ultimates. Okay, now we're gonna move towards kind of the Infinity Wars, where it's just kind of like Secret Wars, or the War of the Gems. Sorry, and then we're gonna move on from that to Civil War and all these little arcs that they had in the comics. But it seems like DC is kind of doing a different approach, where they're taking arcs for the individual characters and then using those and combining them. So rather than saying, okay, here's the Batman story and then Batman's going to be in there, they're doing the whole like Frank Miller Batman, and they're introducing it with that whole Batman versus Superman scheme. They're not They're not just doing a Batman movie and a Superman movie. Even though they did Man of Steel. And same thing with, although this is weird because they're doing that with Wonder Woman also, but same thing with like Green Lantern. It's not just going to be, here's a Green Lantern movie, here's his origin story. Thing. They're like, no, it's the Green Lantern Corps movie. And you're going to see the different Green Lanterns that have been around rather than just one Green Lantern. Although one Green Lantern will make its way into the Justice League. And that's an interesting approach.
I like their well, we got to see how it's all executed because I feel like this is going to be a clusterfuck of a movie. But can we just really talk about how Ursa Miller is very unlikable?
He just, you know what it is? He just looks like a douche, first of all. Like, right off the bat, he just looks like a fucking douchebag. Like, that kind of douchebag that would walk into class with a top knot and a beard.
He is,
with his wooden cutting board as he cuts his vegan meal.
He's the equivalent of how I feel most nerds are today.
Really?
Where, not most, but kind of like a big chunk of them is, and it's sort of like the thing I tell you about at work, where there's like this group of people that are like smug because they like these things. And they're like, whatever. Like, I know about comics.
He comes off that way.
Like, I'm... And here's my argument. I was talking to Jimmy about this, where I said this is why I don't like the Flash, and this is why I say that the one character that they could have brought over from the shows would have been. It makes the most sense. Somebody that can go through universes and can go through fucking time, essentially, falls into this universe, and it's just sort of like that makes sense. They could bridge that, and then on top of what's going on this season of the Flash, makes perfect fucking sense. You could have had him like, you know what you could have done? You could have taken the Marvel approach to it, where he's fighting Zoom, right? And as he's fighting Zoom, he fucking just vanishes, like, at the end of the season. Zoom's dead, and Flash just keeps running, and he can't stop. Gets sucked into this new fucking dimension. What happens? You want to really fucking make tons of money? Have him fucking zoom right into the Batman Superman universe, and just have fucking Superman just fly down. Who are you? Bam!
Mm-hmm.
Your movie is sold. And crazy people are gonna start watching. Even more people are gonna start watching The Flash.
Of course. And that would have been brilliant. That would have been nice to do. But there's minor legal reasons why they couldn't do it. But it's the same. It's one of those same reasons why Supergirl won't appear in Flash or Arrow and vice versa. And I'm not saying this as an excuse. I'm not defending it at all. Actually, I actually think Grant Gustafson, whatever, is an amazing Flash. He's really good as Barry Allen.
He's one of our favorite characters.
And he would have been perfect. I remember when they said the news, they were like, "Oh yeah, this guy's gonna be the Flash." People were like, "No, we already got the Flash. Who's this guy?"
Yeah.
Well, wait, yo.
Who's this fuckboy?
They could have even started, like you said. They could have started. Who's this fuckboy? They could have started season 3 where they're like, he was only gone for like an hour, and they're like, "Where have you been?" He's like, "I long story."
Just
but
brace yourselves.
It's so interesting, like the backlash against this guy. And even in the interview they had during that little half-hour segment, he's like, "So I play this guy called Barry Allen, also known as the Flash.
You know
and
what
he's
killed me
really
about that?
fast." I was like, "Who the fuck are you?"
What killed me about that? No emotional.
This is another movie role. This is just what I'm doing.
Yeah, where
whatever.
Grant Gustin is just like, "Look, man, my mom died, and going back in time to save her." Where I was just like, "Okay, sir, you're like, I'm part of this superhero movie. Well, fuck it." That kid fucking pissed me off so much. It's the second time that I've gotten angry.
Let's move on from that. Let's talk about Aquaman. Let's talk about...
Since day one, I've been so happy with them casting Jason Momoa.
I was a little skeptical. You know why? I admit I kind of like the super like white
the Hitler Youth Aquaman.
The Hitler Youth Aquaman with the blue eyes and the blonde hair.
He looks like a King Arthur.
He does. He looks like...
Which I like.
He looks like a better version of what they turned Aquaman into with the hook hand. When he turned into mullet Aquaman.
In the cartoon, yeah. Essentially, in the Thompson cartoon.
He looks amazing as Aquaman. And
hold my microphone like this.
It's pretty obvious why they chose Jason. It's pretty obvious why they chose Jason Momoa to play Aquaman.
Sexy as fuck. I mean,
no, well, yeah, and they chose him because he's a fucking badass, and a lot of people shit on Aquaman for being this weak character. But
you don't mess with Kyle Drago.
It's like you sit there and say, "Oh, Aquaman's a piece of shit. He's such a wussy." Then you turn around as fucking
Aquaman's one of the best characters ever.
This dude standing there all buff and badass.
In Jeff Johns' Aquaman run, like the last one he did before he got off the book, there's a scene in the first issue which always makes me laugh. It's he's sitting in Red Lobster, and somebody comes up to him, "Hey, you're that fish guy, right?" And he's like, "Yep." And they're like, "So what are you doing here? What are you like eating fish?" He's like, "Oh, I can eat some fish," but he's like, and then the guy's like, "Can't you feel their pain or some shit like that?" And he's just like, "Just please leave me alone."
It's true though.
And I'm like, man, I love Aquaman. Aquaman's dope. Shout out to Mike Nova who really likes Aquaman.
I feel like every time they introduce Aquaman as a serious villain, like, there's always that one asshole who's like, "Well, he only speaks to fish." It's like, just shut the fuck up.
But that Family Guy thing kind of always pissed me off too. That scene where he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna throw a fish at you," and
if you don't like starfish, you better not turn around. You're gonna be pretty angry.
Yeah, this is dumb.
I thought that was actually kind of funny. But anyway, moving on from Aquaman,
Cyborg.
We have Aquaman. We have Aquaman. We have Cyborg.
That Green Lantern Corps movie is fucking fantastic, and it ended with the new Suicide Squad trailer, which I like. I'm gonna be the contrary. Whereas I'm like, finally, this movie it sold me a little bit. This movie sold me more than Batman vs Superman.
Yes, but you could tell that even through the trailer, they did a lot of reworking. Because when you look at the first promotional stuff that was coming out for the Suicide Squad, it was told as kind of like almost very Dark Knight-ish, where it was very serious.
They had to change it.
And then now it's just
Look
like
at the color.
yeah,
scheme
they
and
added all this
everything.
color and everything's witty one-liners, and it's just they freaking chose Bohemian Rhapsody.
I'm gonna point this out right now. I'm gonna point this out to you, and you tell me that this is not true or this is very true. So, DC is heavily banking on this movie to be DC's and Warner Brothers Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah, of course.
When that fucking it hit me right when Bohemian Rhapsody hit, I'm like, oh, I get it. You're trying. I was
Oh,
like,
I
dude, you
get
just
it.
took the same beat from Hooked on a Feeling.
Yep.
And then it's like, oh look, there's this crazy girl, and here's the alligator, and here's the crocodile, excuse me, and it's just like all these, you're hitting on all these same beats that the Guardians trailer hit on, and I'm like, oh whatever. The pretty boy renegade Lone Ranger,
Also known as Boomerang. Yeah, I get it.
that scene made me laugh when he's running. He's just like,
It's kind of every time I look at the lineup for Suicide Squad.
so random.
And it not only is it random, but like they did some weird choices with it. Like not only with the casting, but like you said, like the character choices.
I like Captain Boomerang.
I love Captain Boomerang too.
He kills
but, like,
Tim Drake's dad.
How do you fucking like sell that to people who know nothing about like the Suicide Squad or anything?
Well, I'll be
He's a
completely
guy that
honest.
throws boomerangs and he calls himself Captain Boomerang.
I'll point it out to you like this. So we have this raccoon who has a bad attitude and shoots guns.
I could see that selling.
There's a tree that only says 3 things.
I could see that selling too.
Well, because you fucking seen it sell.
No, because like even when you talk about it, even from like a marketing standpoint, when you're talking to people, it's like in a boardroom, you're like, we got this foul mouthed raccoon, and
Kids
we have
will love him.
this giant. Yeah, kids will look. Not only will kids love him, but adults will love him too because he's funny. And then we have this giant tree that only says 3 things. He's adorable. Everyone's gonna think he's awesome. And then when you go into the same room and you're like, okay, so there's a guy who throws boomerangs and this other dude who has tattoos all over his face, and we got a black Deadshot. Just fucking me up.
Will Smith.
Will Smith is a weird choice for a villain.
It works. He's always playing heroes. I'd like to see him play. Well, no, he played Lucifer in this movie, that Colin Farrell Time movie. Mm-hmm. He actually played the devil.
Huh.
It's pretty shitty.
But
Winter's Tale.
are you
Are
you excited for Suicide Squad?
Yeah, I am now.
Has that trailer completely changed your mind?
The first trailer, I was like, okay, I see where they're going. I need to see more. And then this trailer where it was like lighthearted, and it goes to my point of what I tell you why I like Flash over Arrow. Excuse me, Batman. Batman Begins, is that you like that? So why do I tell you that I don't like Arrow? What's my beef with Arrow?
That you think it's that you don't like Diggle. You say you think Diggle is too Mary Sue.
I never said that, but
you say the number one thing you don't like about Arrow is that you dropped your mic. The number one thing you don't like about Arrow, you said, is that Deathstroke is your favorite character of all time, and the fact that they just killed him off like that.
I feel like these are your reasonings.
No, these are not my reasonings. I actually really
the reason why I don't
used to like
Arrow is because it's too dark of a show. It's like it doesn't have the charm.
Green Arrow.
It doesn't have the charm that the Flash has, and that's why I fucking love the Flash. I like these characters. Like I like Cisco. I like, fucking Ed Harris. No, not Ed Harris. What his name is? Fucking Thawne. I forgot his name. I already forgot his name. I don't know why I said Ed Harris. Wasn't he on a show?
I don't know why that's so funny to me.
Wasn't he on the show called Ed? Tom Cavanaugh. Yeah, anyway. But like I like Caitlyn and I like Joe. Joe is like
I like every character on the show.
I can't find one character I dislike.
You know why I
on that
like
show.
the Flash over Arrow the most? Like the number one reason
Patty
is when
Spivet's ass.
It is honestly whenever there's a conflict and a drama between characters, it usually gets resolved within that episode and quickly. They don't drag it out, so they don't make it unreasonable. Like for example, when Iris's father didn't tell her.
Oh, Wally.
about
Oh, I can't
the
fucking
mother.
stand Wally. There you go. It just
I
hit
can't
me.
stand them either. But he's
Joe.
like, Barry's like, you should tell her, and he goes, okay, fine, and he's crying, and he's like, look, this is why I didn't tell you, and he, tells her all the thing, and he's like, oh, you're gonna be mad at me, you're gonna hate me. She's like, no, Dad, I get it, I understand, and I can see you're in pain. Let's get through this together, right? That is, like, honestly, more realistic, way more gripping, way better for character development than the fact that Arrow takes those type of dramas and drags them on through the entire fucking season. Every episode, they say the same fucking shit. You're not alone in this, Ollie. You gotta stop pushing us away. You're a part of a team.
They funny.
Say the same.
They said that
fucking
same
shit.
thing in the first episode of the Flash season. Resolved it at the end of the episode. Hey, Team Flash, great. Let's move on to the next.
Yeah, they're
thing.
like, hey, you know what? It's not worth holding on to for fucking 3 seasons. Like, it's feelings. Arrow is all about feelings, and just people being whiny. Like, I like Black Canary. I hate Black Canary in the show with a passion. I never want to hear her speak again. Because everything, she always looks like she's about to cry.
I can't wait till we get Zatanna on that
Every
show.
fucking, like, every time they show her, she looks like she has tears just welling up, waiting to come out. And then what does she do? No, Oliver. She's my sister. I think I get her. It's like,
Just cries.
I can't deal with that show. I want that show to be good. Like, I want that show to take place in the day. I want him to grow a goatee. I want him to have a boxing glove arrow. Like, I just want these things.
Can I leave off with one last...
Sorry, I just realized I went on a rant for way longer than it should be.
That's fine. Can I go on one last thing before we end this segment?
I love you.
I love you too. Harley Quinn. Near yay.
I'm still nay. Still very nay.
I'm very yay.
Okay.
When the kind of like Rose, the kind of like, I'm a little like kind of ditzy. I like that. I love Margot Robbie. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit it.
I love her too.
Margot Robbie's fucking hot.
I love her. She's hot. She's
great in Wolf of Wall Street. And she was good in that Focus movie. That was pretty dumb. Anyway, there is a argument online of where people are like, when has Harley Quinn been like, and I'm going to fucking call them out. These Mary Sues. I'm going into that territory. Get ready to lose viewers. These Mary Sues being like...
We went from 3 to 2.
We went from 3 to -2 now. No, but in all honesty, they're like, I don't remember Harley Quinn being this like sexual and like stupid ditzy, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, whoa. I was like, first of all, and you know what's crazy? I had just finished reading Mad Love. So like I had the forwards from Paul Dini, the forwards from not Darwin Cook. God damn, Bruce Timm. And they talk about it. They're like, this is a girl who's very smart. She was easily manipulated by the Joker to make her fall in love with him. She's like in love with this guy, and he's very abusive to her. But people don't bat an eye about that shit. And I'm like, you can't talk about one aspect of the character. The character's smart. The character, anytime she wanted to kill Batman or hurt Batman, it was essentially to impress Joker, so Joker would love her. And even when they kind of broke her away from that, she was still this thief, kind of like sexual like being, where they always hinted at her having a relationship with Poison Ivy, her having a relationship with Catwoman.
I was going to say that, like, those two arguments of her being ditzy and her being sexual, just look at her beginning in the cartoon. She is ditzy, she's dumb, she's silly, and in the beginning, and then when she breaks away from Joker and she's partying with Poison Ivy, she realizes the power of sexuality, the power that she has over people, because people are stupid. And she uses that to her advantage. And then moving on into the comics, it's...
Listen here, bats! I love Arlene Sorkin. To this day,
God,
Arlene
she's so
Sorkin
perfect.
and fucking Tara Strong both kill it as Harley Quinn.
It's kind of funny how, like, Harley Quinn was an Arrow. And they
like
were
10.
gonna...
They were gonna use her, and then they were like,
and they were like,
sorry,
oh, wait,
we gotta
Suicide
use
Squad
her for the
movie's
movie.
coming out.
It's crazy to think, too, and for a character that's 20, 21 years old at this point. And at that, we'll be back after Stefan whips his dick out.
You just hear like a light thud, like a... Oh!
Motherfucker!
My ding-a-ling! My ding-a-ling! I want
act is over.
Hello. Hello. Hey, yo, welcome back to Tracy Morgan Live with your host, Tracy Morgan.
Welcome back.
I thought you were going to do the voice.
Nope.
You son of a bitch.
Welcome back, everybody.
I've got some payback for you.
Okay. No, don't fart in my gaming chair. My gaming chair.
You're gay?
My gay chair. Welcome back, everybody, to the Mrs. Doubtfire podcast, where we talk all things Mrs. Doubtfire.
We break it down minute by minute.
So, the other day I was watching Mrs. Doubtfire again, as always.
All right.
And I realized there's a little bit of a mistake in the film.
What do you mean?
So at the 52-minute and 32-second mark, you'll notice that Robin Williams
is a man, baby. All right. So, I'm actually going to, before we go on to the next topic, I'm going to break in and kind of give you an update on my movie challenge.
Podcast, guys.
Yeah, this one's a long one. You've sat in today on a long one. I'm 3 movies behind again because I'm a dick. And these are the movies that I've seen since the last time I fucking talked about this.
Here we go.
You tell me yes or no to these.
Okay, yes.
I watched Kurt Cobain Montage Effect, which was the better Kurt Cobain documentary, like I said it was going to be.
No.
His daughter produced it, and his daughter's pretty hot.
No. Nirvana, overrated.
Okay, Spaceballs. I feel like that movie still holds up. You said I wasn't going to like it, but I did.
Did I really say that?
Yeah.
Did I really say that?
Yeah.
That's a lie.
I'm looking for Commander Asshole.
Even as
over here.
Yeah, even as you say it now, I'm like, you would love that fucking movie.
I'm surrounded by assholes.
Personally, though, I didn't like it.
There you go. See,
I was
that's exactly
it. Which is weird, because I like all his other crap.
I saw Big Trouble in Little China for the first time. Oh, love it. That movie is fucking amazing.
That movie.
What you doing here, Jack Burton?
That fucking movie made me fall in love with Kurt Russell. That and Escape from New York. Oh,
you should watch his new... He has a movie right now called... Bone Saw Tomahawk or Bone Tomahawk. It's really good. He fucking scalps people in the movie.
It makes me sad that they're not going to make a sequel to Captain Jack.
Yeah. You say Captain Jack, and then I think 2 things. First, I think of Come Along with Captain Jack.
Dream on my little boy, dream on my little boy.
And Simple Jack from Tropic Thunder.
Oh, yeah.
I've got head movies going on in my brain. I saw Snowpiercer, which is Chris Evans going through a train.
They're turning that into another show.
No shit. Are they really?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
Hold on a second. Continue.
All Things Must Pass,
Oh, I'm sorry,
which
man.
is
I meant to text you back.
Is a documentary about Tower Records. Let's all listen to Stefan's phone conversation.
We're recording a podcast right now. Yeah.
Is that Alex?
Yeah, it's Alex.
You sexy motherfucker, you.
The closest train is the 2 train.
These 2 dicks in your mouth.
Take it to 116. Then just walk up to 117 and then make a left.
This makes for compelling
all the way
podcast. You're gonna ring that bell. You're gonna ring that fucking bell.
Okay.
Underneath
the scaffolding, you see it.
Oh yeah, you're gonna see it. You gotta see it like my dick.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Stefan.
Hey guys, how you doing? Sorry, very unprofessional.
So All Things Must Pass, Tower Records documentary, which was pretty boring. Bad Words with Jason Bateman.
I'll cut that out. Don't worry.
No, you leave that all in. The Bad Words, which is Jason Bateman's comedy movie about spelling bees, which is actually pretty funny. Blazing Saddles, which I finally saw for the first time yet.
Really? You've never seen Blazing Saddles?
Nope.
Wow.
That fucking movie's so great. They dropped the N-word a lot in that movie.
Very freely. Very freely. Quentin Tarantino needs to stop using that N-word.
Okay. I haven't seen Hateful Eight yet, so...
Yeah.
Speaking of the N-word...
now.
Speaking of the N-word, I saw Inside Out, which is a Disney Pixar movie.
Did you ever see that cut that I told you about?
Which one?
So someone did a cut where they just removed all of the inside part of Inside Out.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
It's
very
good
depressing.
Cut.
It's the movie's pretty sad.
Yeah.
It made me feel bad about getting old and probably losing all my memory from getting concussions.
Wow.
Speaking of losing memory and getting a bunch of concussions.
Made me want to be a parent really bad.
I know. You're working on that one day.
I want you.
The speaking of, like I said, concussions, being a bad parent.
Weird. Oh, that was awkward.
And losing memory. Number 20 on my list is the resurrection of Jake the Snake Roberts. Boy, that guy has a bunch of problems, but it's good to see him get his life back together. And from one bad documentary to actually one that I fucking enjoyed, I saw I Am Big Bird.
I Am Big Bird,
which is a documentary about Carol Spini, who's Big Bird, and talks about how, you know what's the most depressing part about that movie? When Elmo gets really big and people start forgetting about Big Bird. I'm like, go fuck yourself, Elmo.
Have you seen the Elmo documentary?
I'm gonna watch that next.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Because he touched kids. But
it's good, and then you watch it because I saw it before the scandal.
Yeah,
but like shortly before the scandal. So like I saw the documentary and I was like, this is really good. This is a really cool documentary. I didn't know that much about him. Now I know. It's really cool. And then that happened, and I was like, yeah, I see it.
There's a really good picture of like the first couple weeks of Sesame Street, and it's Frank Oz, Jim Henson, and Carol Spini all sitting next to each other controlling Muppets, and I was like, fuck, that picture is beyond amazing.
God damn.
That's like squad goals to an extent.
Squad goals to the
squad goals.
You could have one dead person in your squad. Who
Jim Henson.
Okay.
I said that really fast without thinking about it. I was gonna say my aunt maybe. No, but if a celebrity, it probably would be either Jim Henson or Lemmy or Bowie. No, Jim Henson. I feel like me and Jim Henson would put me in the Muppets. I looked after watching the Big Bird documentary. I looked into applying for the Muppet workshop, like the Sesame Street workshop. I was like, I would fucking quit my job in a heartbeat to do that.
I have a friend who's in it.
Muppet Wrangler. I want to be a Muppet Wrangler.
Did I tell you about that?
No.
We'll talk.
Yes.
We'll talk.
Number 22, regular show, the movie, an extended episode of the show.
What?
Blah. What? And then lastly, The Overnight, which was this comedy about couples in LA that was fucking awful.
Go back. What?
What?
There was a regular show.
Yeah, they did a regular show movie. They did it essentially they talk about why they're stuck in the park, and it's pretty fucked up.
Oh, I don't want to hear it. All right. Continue. That's it.
That's pretty much it for that segment. Cool. How long have we been doing this for?
So we're on part 4, which is usually what we get to anyway.
All right.
It's just that part 3 is really long. Part 3 is almost a half hour.
All right. So part 4, I'm gonna make this short and sweet. I'm gonna get on my soapbox. So last week, or 2 weeks ago, Secret War number 9 finally came out. Oh, Secret War number 9. Wait, you must flip the table over.
Because Secret War, I feel like there's more news on Secret Wars than there actually is of Secret Wars.
Oh yeah. So it ends.
Jesus,
spoilers.
I can't believe it took this long.
They built the Marvel Universe back, but 2 people in particular leave and go to rebuild the universes with the Future Foundation. Mrs. Fantastic and Mr. Fantastic.
Bye, guys. It's been nice knowing you.
Yep. They get banished to the universe, and essentially Marvel putting that comic series to rest.
Officially.
With the exception of Johnny Storm being a part of the Avenger books and Thing being in Guardians of the Galaxy. But my point is, how could you do this to Marvel's first family?
Okay, wait. First of all, all.
No, right? You listen here, you motherfucker.
First of all, if they're going to go out, right, then go out being in control of the whole universe. You know what I'm saying?
Well, essentially, that's what they're doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They retired them respectfully, all right? Respectfully.
I mean, yeah, they did.
It's not like they just died.
I don't think it was Marvel that did it.
Their arch villain, Super Skrull, took over their body.
It was more Jonathan Hickman that did this. We talked about this last week, too, where it's just or even before, where these status quo changes for Marvel. And I think this is more or less like Marvel kind of being like, oh, we can't use these characters, so, fuck them. And I hate it.
First of all, stop rubbing up against the mic, because that's actually coming up. Second of all,
it's my beard. I'm sorry.
Second of all,
pubes.
They didn't just throw them away. I'm just continue.
Yeah, they did just throw them away, but it's sort of like I don't get that, man. It's sort of like, and I get it. The Fantastic Four is in a book that now where it's just like, oh, there's these family adventures I want to see, or look, they got a bad rap. They got 4 shitty movies. The Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie, the 2 Jessica Alba ones, and then the fourth one being this reboot that just came out. But
has there ever been a real Fantastic Four success story?
Yeah,
besides the wedding issue.
When Jonathan Hickman took over, when Hickman first started, and sort of like the death of Johnny Storm, and which was even great. I'll never forget. There was a great Spider-Man tie-in issue of like Peter being like, I miss him. Like these are my stories with him and our adventures and this and that. And it was a really sad issue.
Yeah, but I mean,
I think at that point, like J. Jonah Jameson's wife died and Johnny Storm died, and he was just conflicted about what he wanted to do with himself.
I mean, I'm not saying I agree. I mean, I like the Fantastic Four, but it sucks because let's just face it, Sue and Reed were forgettable characters after a while. Not to us, obviously, but like the more popular ones were the Human Torch with Spider-Man and his amazing friends. Then you have the Thing, which is pretty much in everything. He had a big role in, not big role, but he had a big scene in AVX. So like, you know, they're two memorable characters that are gonna live on, and Sue and Reed are just kind of there at
characters out of time. It's sort of funny because when we were sitting watching that Captain America special and they were talking about like after the war kind of Captain America, there was no use for him, so they kind of put him on the back burner. I feel like this is exactly what they're doing with the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
But even, you know, the way the book was headed with that Future Foundation shit, which was amazing.
Yeah.
Which I fucking loved, where it was like, you know what, make that the series. Instead of putting them on a shelves, do a Fantastic Four storyline where instead of Ben and Johnny, it's Sue, Reed, Franklin, and Valeria. And it's just, they're all there rebuilding this universe with the Future Foundation. And you kind of have like a Swiss Family Robinson style adventure where it's, I can't believe I just fucking made a Swiss Family Robinson.
Say what?
Like, callback, but what? It goes to my point where I feel that Marvel, you know, look, I'm going to sound really conservative here, but in this day and age of everything being gender specific and every story having to be connected to something, and I'm sorry I'm going to say this phrase again, but like essentially things getting Mary sued and people getting offended by whatever, and they feel like they need all this diverse characters. You know, they're catering to everybody else except one group of people, and I feel that, you know, there's some people that like want family books, like they want something that's like wholesome, where, you know, I can sit with my son and be like, hey, look at this adventure. I didn't even have a kid, and I said my son is probably out there, but just look at it, Daddy Brendan, Papa, but look at it like if you had this book where it's just like, hey, I want to buy something for my son. Oh, here's this cis character that like doesn't identify as it. No. I'm trying to teach my 5-year-old, look, this is this family. They're rebuilding adventures. Check them out. And I know it's kind of old and kind of outdated, but why not? Why not give the people that like that shit their story? You're catering to everybody else, but you're totally forgetting about the people that have been with you on this journey for a long time.
You're alienating the people that kept you afloat for all these years, pretty much. Oh, that's sad.
It's like the girlfriend who fucking takes care of you when you're down and out, and then the minute you get like some sort of success, you're like, yo, fuck this bitch, I'm out. It's just most relationships.
You know, I noticed that we do that a lot.
What?
We talk about that kind of stuff a lot.
Maybe.
Where we talk about, we talk about how we're just getting too old for this shit. Like,
I don't think we're getting old for it.
We're growing up, and like we usually talk about how like, oh, you're alienating us by introducing all these new things to get in new readers. And it's like, well,
I understand you need the business to grow and everything, but you have to find a good medium in that. Where if every character, where every story and every bit of content that's being put out, it's like we have to make sure we have to cut all the crust out. We have to make sure we make all these options available. Like we can leave this character open to interpretation. It's like, where's the fun in that though? Where it's just like essentially You're making me spend $5 on comics now because I think that's like the medium now for comics is $5, which is ridiculous. Where it's just like I'm paying $5 for this 18 to 22 page story, where it's mostly art and splash pages and ads and whatever, and you're not gonna give me anything towards it. Like, what's the fucking point? What is the fucking point, dude? I haven't bought comics in months. I'm gonna say December, maybe. No, even before that, November. And it's just like I have no urge to get back into things.
Yeah, that's
and that's sad coming from me. Coming from me.
I know, Mr. Comic Book Store, man.
That it's fucking depressing. I feel that you're out of it now. You're
I'm not. I'm not actually really not out of it. It's something you said that I'm trying to look up now to show you, and I can't fucking find it. It's like bugging me. But anyway.
What was it? Just show the basis on it.
It's something I didn't really want to say.
Just say it, go ahead.
On air, so I'm not gonna do it.
Look, we'll say it, and if it's not good, just cut it out.
All right. So it's this SpongeBob thingy where like there's the episode where they're doing the band practice. And Patrick's there, and he asks a question for Squidward, and Squidward's like, with his typical like, oh no, like his anyway. So the point is,
real quick, did you hear that the guy that plays Squidward got arrested for DUI, and now he's gonna he might get fired from the show?
No, that the show's over.
Life.
So anyway, so they took that and they asked like I forgot if something was, but he's like, is butter a gender? And Squidward goes, no, Tumblr, butter's not a gender. And then someone, this was posted on Tumblr, and someone made a post. The very first response to it was like, oh, this is the kind of shit we need to abolish, that people just lightly make fun of, like, people who are gender curious or gender this and gender that.
Holy shit.
And then someone responds to that like, are you seriously defending butter as a gender? They say, remember this day.
That's
the
true.
day Tumblr defended butter as a gender.
Dude, so The Rock came back last night to the wrestling.
Oh,
things.
hell yeah.
He came back. He was doing his usual rock spiel. And this girl was on Twitter, and she got retweeted by one of the wrestling sites, like the insider sites, where she said, and I quote, give me 1 second, I'm going to look this up for you.
Go ahead and look it up.
Look it up, Brandon. Look it up. Clap, clap. Look it up, Brandon. Look it up. Abe Vigoda. Look it up, Brandon. Look it up. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, we lost Abe Vigoda today.
Oh, yeah. Rest in peace, Abe Vigoda.
Oh.
You will be missed.
Yep. He will.
You were the punchline of many a joke.
Abe Vigoda. Vigoda? I thought she would love her. You saw what I did there? All right.
I like,
so this girl, right?
Abe Vigoda.
This is her, Ashley. She's on Twitter. Let me be super clear. Watching The Rock in the current WWE makes me super uncomfortable as a woman wrestling fan.
There we go.
The constant belittling and sexist comments he makes towards and about women, plus the bonus homophobia.
Oh, boy.
This, again, coming from a character. A character.
All right. We'll take it.
You know what? We're going to cut this short because I swear to God, I'm going to go on a fucking rant. I'm fucking tired of this. I've said it 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to say it again. Stop it. Stop it. There doesn't need to be fucking a defense to everything. Sweet mother of God, who's that?
No.
It just doesn't need to be like an excuse for everything.
Everyone gets offended over everything now. We're in that era where people just get offended to get offended. And what sucks is that, most people today get their news from the internet now. They don't get their news from credible news sources. They just get their news from social media. And who's on social media? I'm going to be honest. Fucking dumbass motherfucking idiots. That's what's on social media.
Sure.
And that's where they're getting their news from. So people who are outraged by every little fucking thing in the world, that's what you're going to listen to, that's what you're going to hear, and that's what you're going to have to side with. Because
Oscar's so white, though.
Anyway, guys.
Can I talk about how stupid that is real quick?
What?
How Oscar's so white?
What's that?
Oscar's so white is the fact that no black people get nominated for Oscars.
Oh, good.
And I go, this is for what I say. Half the time, people that win Oscars don't deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want, you talk so much about acceptance. You want accepted. You want to be included. But then again, when people... All right, for example, there's I think this week's Vanity Fair, there's a white Oscar on it, and it says, "Oh my God, we're so sorry." And I'm like, it goes to a point now where it's either something you hit on, where it's like, so now people are just going to get nominated for Oscars just because they're black, and not because they made a great film. Granted, the guy from Creed didn't get nominated, which is bullshit. Michael B. Jordan didn't get nominated, which is bullshit. And it's just like, no, there doesn't need to be. And what's crazy is that people will bitch and complain about Oscars being so white, but most of the people that got fucking nominated for, I wouldn't say most, but a lot of the people that got nominated for Oscars this year, Latinos. Boom. I dropped the mic.
Okay.
I didn't.
All right, guys. Well, it seems like we're reaching the end of this segment and the
fuck
end of
this
the
episode.
show.
No, I'm joking.
Wow.
This episode's been pretty rough on me.
Yeah, guys. So, stay tuned for some more stuff coming from us down the pipeline.
We're not gonna fucking do shit.
Okay. But we definitely have a lot of stuff coming. So stay tuned for that.
Look out for the new Dark Souls relaunch. Dark Souls videos
Relaunch
this week.
Dark Souls.
Something Dark Souls.
Oh, I keep scratching my ear.
A fucking
and,
nice to be.
What? Anyway, goodbye, guys. Take care.
For Stefan, who has no energy. For me,
I don't know why. I hit a wall.
Because we got so mad at the Mary Sue's. Don't forget to punch back in, y'all.
So what? Who cares? We're doing it how we like. I'm singing it through my mic. A special underwater mic. Who's gonna save the world? Who's gonna save the days? From Mayhap crab to steel and eerie heels with evil ways. Who's gonna talk like Curly since Curly isn't here? Who's gonna chase down films and then turn around and run in fear? You know who I'm talking about. He's fat and short, no brains, and I do not mean Captain